Diplomats say the memorandum of understanding signed with the Somaliland depicts Ethiopia's continued commitment for economic integration. Expert says Ethiopia is on the right track in wheat production. Hello and welcome to ABC World. I'm Oscar Mahfoud with the hour's latest. Stay with us. A high-level delegation from the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs led by the Director General for Development Cooperation, Stefano Gatti, visited the Ethiopian Ministry of Finance. State Minister for Finance Ayub Takali expressed gratitude to the government of Italy for the support aligned with Ethiopia's government priorities, emphasizing the urgent need for accelerated financial assistance. The Italian delegates, for their part, expressed their satisfaction with the progress and willingness to collaborate closely to expedite ongoing projects in areas of agro-processing, energy, job creation, improving coffee productivity, and enhancing its value chains, urban development, and expand development cooperation. Moreover, as president of the G7, Italy pledged support for Ethiopia's development aspirations, urging the Ethiopian team to leverage climate funds and the MATI plan for African development announced by the Italian government in early 2023. Subsequently, both sides agreed to strengthen communication channels to work closely for the mutual benefit of both nations and their people, as per the Ministry of Finance. Ambassadors Against Himanu paid a courtesy call on the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Tourism of Seychelles, Sylvester Radgode, on Monday at Mason Q. De Quincy. Minister Radgode expressed the Seychelles' interest in having the existing visa waiver with Ethiopia extended to ordinary passports. The two diplomats also discussed the cooperation in air services. Minister Radgode commended Ethiopia's national airline, Ethiopian Airlines, for their daily flights between Mahi and Addis, and expressed his hope for enhanced cooperation between the two parties. Ambassador Bazabu, who described the relation between the two countries as a strong, said that she will be focusing on agreements which are ongoing during her tenure, as well as areas of common interest such as tourism, environment, and investment. The first Ethiopia-Malta Business Forum kicked off today in Addis Ababa with the objective of fostering the bilateral relations between the two countries. State Minister for Foreign Affairs Misganu Arega, Maltese Ambassador to Ethiopia Ronald Mikalev, and other participants from public and private institutions were in attendance. The trade delegation comprises of various sectors, including manufacturing, tourism, education, IT, among others, are also attending the forum. The business forum is expected to discuss ways of fostering bilateral relations between the two countries. The forum also aims at identifying areas of cooperation in addition to experience sharing in various areas among the two nations. Malta has best experience to offer, especially in fields such as education, IT, construction, health, and several others, it was learned.
Adama lies at the throat of the Rift Valley, 90 kilometers away from the capital city, Addis Ababa. Now, the largest modern wind farm in East Africa, it is the first clean energy project supported by the preferential buyer's credit from Exim Bank of China. In June 2011, Adama Wind Power Farm Phase 1 was commenced. Construction of wind farms starts from road. The last step before generation is equipment debugging and commissioning. With twirling of blades, wind of Adama is being transformed into a steady stream of power.
A seasoned diplomat and a member of Parliament reiterated that the signing of Memorandum of Understanding with Somaliland has significant impact in boosting economic integration in the region. Sharing the MP's idea on a historic Memorandum of Understanding signed in January between the Ethiopian government and the Somaliland counterpart, Ethiopian ambassador to Pakistan for his parts underscored that Ethiopia plays its share in keeping in the momentum of regional peace and security issues. Tagisir Nasa tells us more.
Accessing Africa's untapped resources for the benefit of all Africans in a manner of inclusive growth and sustainable development is the main theme for the Agenda 2063, which aspires to create the Africa that Africans want in 2063. In alignment with this very agenda, creating a single African market is one way to go about it. On 1st of January 2024, Ethiopia has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Somaliland in creating a room for a favorable economic integration in the region. Speaking with ABC, a seasoned diplomat and member of the parliament, Ambassador Dina Mufti reiterated that the signing of MOU with Somaliland has a significant impact in boosting economic integration in the region.
Well, this is an agreement that will create opportunity for regional integrations. As a neighboring country, we as a country should deal with our neighbors, and we should negotiate on given the tech basis. And as you know very well, Ethiopia is a landlocked country. It has been using a single port. The benefit of having many ports, various ports, is out there because there is a development of import-export side. Because as long as the economy develops, the import and export side of the country develops as well.
With regard to keeping the momentum of regional peace and security issues, Ethiopian ambassador to Pakistan, Ambassador Jamal Bakir, for his part disclosed that Ethiopia plays its share.
Look, Ethiopia is one of those, as I said at the beginning, those of founding member of League of Nations, United Nations, OAU, now Africa Union, IGAD also. This principle of Ethiopia has never been shaken or wavered along even the change of the region. Ethiopia's belief that international peace and security, international based rule-based system should continue. Ethiopia has, at the beginning of this year, Ethiopia's Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy Ahmed has called for all, peace-loving people, especially for our neighboring countries, to include Ethiopia's, Nile issues, water and seas become an existential issue for Ethiopia. We are giving Tower of Africa, we give everything. Nile, we give to Shabelle and the Ganale to Somalia, so the others also borrow to Sudan and the rest, then Nile for which connects all the way to Egypt and enter into Mediterranean. So Ethiopia is giving whatever it has natural resource.
Furthermore, the ambassador has stressed that enhancing cooperation between the nations in the region will shift the geopolitics.
We're going to do a mutual understanding based on the aspiration of the two nations. So we are following the no rules, and the trust has been broken in this sense. So based on the aspiration of Somaliland people and the Ethiopians also, we try to create a framing that will enhance to a further degree the relationship between the holistically changing the geopolitics of this nation. So our destiny is connected together. This access to sea will broaden also Somaliland's opportunity for its economic security as well. For us also it gives us alternative sea access where we will have a military base and also a maritime commercial basis.
Since Ethiopia is with the second largest population in Africa, the ambassador says Ethiopia has the biggest market to benefit its neighboring states.
Ethiopia's food self-sufficiency in wheat production and its wheat export to neighboring countries is exemplary to developing countries in Africa. The remark was made by a senior scientist, a wheat breeder, and a pathologist for Sub-Saharan Africa, Bakala Galata, during talks with ABC World. The country's wheat production through mechanization helps boost the production and productivity of wheat. Shagawi Matao tells us more.
Ethiopia is one of the largest wheat-producing countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Wheat is cultivated on a total area of 1.7 million hectares annually, with a total production estimated at between 5 and 6 million tons. Wheat production was mainly dependent on under-rain-fed agriculture in highlands, which has unpredictable weather, emerging diseases, growing population, and the like. However, due to a paradigm shift that the country introduced in recent years, wheat production in lowland irrigation using mechanization has dramatically boosted production and productivity of wheat, according to senior scientist, wheat breeder, and pathologist for Sub-Saharan Africa, Bakala Galata.
Focusing on lowland through irrigation, using mechanization and others is the right direction. And hope through this Ethiopia can increase wheat area in terms of area, as well as it can increase the productivity of the crop.
The scientist and wheat breeder mentions the priority of food self-sufficiency for countries like Ethiopia, adding it is on the right track to export for neighbor countries.
The country is planning to export. So self-sufficiency is first to be achieved, and then planning for export is great, because many of the African countries, though they have good potential for wheat production, they are still relying on import. So Ethiopia has a good market to export to neighboring countries.
Although efforts are being made to maximize wheat production in quality and quantity, a number of challenges loom large which require concerted efforts of stakes in the agriculture sector.
The climate change is a big issue for many countries producing wheat, and Ethiopia is one of them. Climate is changing, and the environment is changing. Not only the climate, but also emerging diseases are also changing. So these are some of the challenges facing wheat production in the country. Also, in terms of capacity, if we consider irrigation infrastructure and drainage, the facilities we have now is not enough to expand more area for wheat. This has to be equipped over time.
Ethiopia is the largest wheat producer in East Africa, with about 65% share of the total wheat production in sub-Saharan Africa.
Well, before I sign out, let me now remind you of top stories of the hour once again. Diplomats say the Memorandum of Understanding signed with Somaliland depicts Ethiopia's continued commitment for economic integration. Expert says Ethiopia is on the right track in wheat production. Well, that's all we have for the hour. Many thanks for watching. I'm Oscar Mark. Bye-bye for me.